Well, what's the crack, everybody? How you getting on? You're all very welcome to episode 129 of Buckshot for Friday the 8th of November 2019. What's fucking the crack, lads? Huh? November. No fucking November. And I just saw a wasp outside. Well, there you have it. We're all bollocksed. Huh? Middle of November, nearly. And there's wasps. Still not. Either that or they're tough-ass wasps. To be fair, this fellow was wearing a jacket, so you know yourself. Thanks very much, everybody. A couple of Patreons up their subscription. A couple of new patrons. I'll give you a shout out on the Ramble Pod. I was supposed to have a Ramble Pod out this week, but it all went absolutely tits crazy, which I'll explain on next week's. I'll get it done on Monday, actually. Just get it out of the way. Monday's a good day. I'll get it done. Panto launches and all that kind of shit. So yeah, trying to get at, because the thing is, you could bang out something. You know, I could be driving in the car and just waffling. And I don't know if people want to listen to waffle. I don't think they do. Total waffle anyway. Even though it is a Ramble Pod, I don't think people want to listen to complete and utter shite. So you gotta be conscious of putting out some decent quality stuff. If you can hear the young fella cooing in the background there, delighted with life he is. Congratulations to get us in Maureen after jumping on the old parent bandwagon. Just saying, got in there before you, but no big deal, you know, relax. Fair play to the two of them. That's fair play to Maureen, really, truth be told. But big congratulations. My thanks, as I said, to the Patreons. This will be going out a couple hours earlier to the Patreons, because you know what? You got to do that. You got to give those people a little something extra, and now the dog is in on the thing. I got to get this recorded and get this out, because I'm out the fucking door. I got a new windscreen coming for the car and everything. Holy shit. And the dog has decided I'm going to jump all over my squeakiest fucking toys. Thanks, dog. You bollocks. Shut up. Is that your way of talking? Just being a dickhead. Jesus Christ. Very last show of Defending the Caveman is out tomorrow. Fuck up, dog. I'm serious. Honestly. Fucking what a prick. What a prick. I'm just going to fuck up everything around the place. Like, this is unbelievable. Just dog wanders in, just chewing the squeakiest thing she has. Very last show this of 2019 anyway of Defending the Caveman is going to be in the Opera House in Wexford tomorrow night, the 9th, being whatever day. You may be listening to this on Sunday and went, shit, I live in Wexford, but don't worry about it, sorry, you'll catch me again. It's going to be around to much more dates next year. So like I was saying, it's the very last one, and then straight back into stand-up. So there'll be a couple of stand-up gigs coming up. I'm going to be updating the website, make a note of that, because I'm in the Laughter Lounge the weekend of the 20th. So that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But I'm going to be doing some club stuff and all the rest before I get back into rehearsals for Panto. Jesus. So, fucking hell, like that feels like a month ago, the last time I did Panto. Fucking hell. Wow, my life. Jesus. Also, there's a merch shop. I have a couple of new bits and pieces designed, so they will be going up. Hopefully, next week isn't too bad. It probably won't be next week. It'll be the week after, I'd say. The couple of new bits. And look, whether you like it or don't like it, there'll be always somebody who likes it, so you can stick it on the t-shirt. It's a Buckshot Tea Republic shop. I'll put all the links in the show notes underneath, so you can have an old fucking gander. I don't need to go. Nobody's taking it down on a notepad going, please tell me the address, Tom. Don't worry about it. It'll be in the show notes. Everybody wants to click through. Same as the Patreon. If you do feel like clicking a couple of dollars towards the podcast, it all fucking goes towards actually, putting diesel in the car. But really, putting fucking microphones and whatnot and upgrades. I actually want to upgrade the microphone stands. So, and I want to get a better mobile mic. One that's like that, so I don't miss out on anything. Maybe one that's shit hot that can record into the phone. I need to, you know what I mean? That I don't need to set up all the gear and stuff, where I could just do a Ramble Pod decent on the fly. You know what I mean? So I need to do a bit of investigation. Anybody out there, a couple of lads do know their stuff about this kind of carry on. Let me know if you know of any kind of lav mics that you can plug into your phone. That'll be great. Good ones, if you could let me know, and I'll go get them. As a result of the Patreons paying for that stuff. So, of course, those people have to get stuff a bit extra. If you do listen to this, look, if you're listening to this in the live play, download it, will you? Download it. Hit subscribe, at least, because I see people just listen to it live, which is fair enough. But if you subscribe, it'll pop into your ears. No bother. Set it to actually download anytime you hit Wi-Fi, and it'll be in your phone forever. Well, it won't. It'll last about 30 days. And don't forget to share. If you don't feel like giving money towards the podcast, just share it. Tell everybody about it. Take a screen grab, throw it up on your Instagram page. Lovely jubbly. Right, moving on to today's guest. We've been in chats trying to lock it in for the last couple of months. he is the uniqueness. It doesn't even come into it. How smart this guy is. He is originally from Tipperary, which I'd only found out and had forgotten, and I was like, great, one of our own. But it doesn't really matter because he is the owner, proprietor, CEO, head boss man, and fucking Wizard of Oz. That is the guy that owns Waterford fucking Whispers. There's the fucking dog again. Would you give it a rest? Christ on Christ above. I'm trying to intro the fucking guest here. This is supposed to be a professional outfit. Got fucking Patreon paying for this shit, dog. And you're just losing your mind running in and out of the fucking place. Oh, Lord. Like I said, Colm Williamson, he's the owner of the whole fucking shooting gallery. He did a podcast with Blind Boy a couple of weeks ago with friend of the podcast, an actual friend, Jerry McBride, who writes also for Waterford Whispers. So we get a good rundown on this one. He also has two other great characters. Two great sketches. He's got a character called Bill Bad Body, he explains who Bill is. He's this prick of a politician. And he also has Session Heads. If you haven't seen Session Heads, lads, I'm not joking with you. It's all up on YouTube now, actually. But he started off on Facebook. Like, whether you know anything about Waterford kind of scumbags or not, just go have a watch of these videos. They're amazing. It's just fucking, it's a masterpiece is what it is. But, other than that, he explains the new subscription service that's coming out, and you should get on that because if you're a fan at all of Waterford Whispers, there's going to be a ton of extra stuff, and you know it's going to be good quality shit because it's coming out of the gang of Waterford Whispers. We recorded in The Goat, which always cracks me up. It's over in Goatstown, would you believe? Seriously, there's a place in Dublin called Goatstown. But I always, like, people go to GOAT, greatest of all time, or it's just The GOAT. They don't say, all I can think is, have you ever seen that movie, Waiting, with Ryan Reynolds, and they all had pull off different moves. When you walk around the corner, you get exposed by somebody, say a guy got one of them staff as his dick out, and you look directly at it, you can kick him in the nuts. But there was one move called The GOAT, where you'd stand backwards and tuck your ball, your balls back between your legs, and if you looked at that, that was like the ultimate. You got a punch in the mouth or something if you look directly at The GOAT. And that's all I could think about when I suggested we meet in The Goat. But it's also a place that we know a lot of fucking politicians and stuff have definitely done a lot of big deals. It's a real place of where deals get done. Guys like Denis O'Brien do stuff in a place like this. And I thought it was only apt for a man who's had more solicitors' letters from Denis O'Brien than I'd say anybody else in the country. So do you know what? Sit back, relax and enjoy the very brilliant Colm Williamson. Colm Williamson, what's the fucking crack? How are you getting on?
Well, bye.
Thanks for popping in. Hey, look at those two wankers sitting in South Dublin.
Charlie Shocks, the old gaff.
It's before you came in, like, there's the amount of like mid-Atlantic accents, and then I says to Beatrice, "Would you ever get away after that?" And we wanted to see more people at the service. It was just lovely. It was a lovely
you've
day.
You've kept your accent. I moved up here years ago, and anywhere I move, I always pick up an accent. Like,
do you?
Yeah, I do.
You'll end up with my accent by the end of it. But would you just hold that just a bit closer, a bit closer, yeah. Because you're originally from Tipperary, aren't you?
From Mullinahone.
See
John Leahy
country. Is Mullinahone split by Kilkenny?
It's very, very close. Like your Mullinahone is about 5 miles away, and there's a little border there. It's very close because I went to school in Callan CBS, so I used to get the bus from Mullinahone to Callan. I was like it's like 20-minute drive, 10-minute drive.
Right.
Yeah, very close. So that's where the rivalry. So,
and and how long were you in Dublin then when you did move up?
I was in Dublin. I was in Dunleary. First working in NTL, then I was working in Nida Hotel, and then I was working in. I said, "Fuck this! I'm sick of sales." I said, "Fuck it! I'm going to be a barman. I'm going to manage a bar within I had a bet on with a friend.
That is such
actually.
a Tipperary thing to do.
No,
I swear to God, I was talking with Leamy last week, and he was talking about we were talking about the amount of tip lads that own bars.
Oh, it's crazy.
But there's actually a society. Did
you
know that?
Oh, right.
I was saying to him, I was doing a gig in Chaplin's Bar one night, and I see a poster up in the Jacks, and it was for the Tipperary Bar Owners Association of Dublin. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, wow.
And I went out to your man, and he's always a big grumpy head in him. He never said hello to me or anything anytime I was in there. But I said, "Hey, well, what's the crack?" He goes, Hi, are you from Tip? Sam, yeah. I was like two Jews had just met in Palestine. Like, it was just unbelievable.
What are you doing up here?
But it turns out there's so many. That was the crack years ago. You go up to Dublin, you manage a bar, and then you'd work till basically you aged 20 years in 1 year. To the point,
which is like,
and then you earn enough money to buy a bar.
Yeah,
and that was the crack. You buy a pub.
I didn't make much money. It's a tough game. Like you're working fucking 12 hours a day, and you're really running around as well, and there's everything in it. It's
just even listening to them there, the shit that they listen to from Adadri out. Like an old fella came in there and was fucking roaring about some euro he stuck into a fag machine or something. I don't know what. And rather than go, would you ever fuck off? Which we can do in our lives. But they have to be compliant and go, of course, sir. Yeah. Absolutely, sir.
But that's why everyone's an alcoholic who works behind the bar. Because you can finish and you're like, oh, man, just give me a fucking beer.
But that's it. You'd grow a fucking tumour from listening to that kind of shit, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, it's draining. Yeah. So I got out of that game. No, but yeah, it was like Charlie Shaw owns this. His brother owns Chalks and Clonmel as well.
That's right.
He sold up, though. I think he's gone out of the game. But Charlie I think he still owns a load of pubs around here, doesn't he? He owns this one. And
he definitely has a couple of more anyway. Yeah. And then, and what was the progress then after that? When did you end up back down south?
No, the kid was born, and Lucas was born, and I said, I'm not staying in Dublin. I'm not working in bars, and I'm not, I'm going to move down to Tramore, because I used to love Tramore. I used to live there a lot. I'm going to move down there, and I'm going to manage a bar, a restaurant. And this is when everything was fine. It was 2008. And then next thing, literally on the way down, Lehman Brothers crushed. And he was moving all his stuff. Moved all the way down. And then it was like, yeah, it's going to be the best time ever. And Lehman's crashed. And then everything, within like 2 months, everything was like, it just turned into a ghost town.
Like, so you brought the apocalypse with you to Tramore, basically.
It felt like it was already there, because there was a lot of kind of derelict buildings, and you just kind of go, fuck. Yeah, I was in Dublin for the last 5 years, and I didn't really notice the slow decline of everywhere else when I moved back. But then it was like, then that hit, and everyone was broke, and I had, I didn't know what to do, so started working in a restaurant, managed a restaurant. I never managed a restaurant in my life. It was all bar work. Do you know what I mean?
So you were just going to bluff your way into this now?
No, I didn't bluff. I even told the owner at the time. He said, "I know you can be the new restaurant manager.
You've got 2 legs and 2 arms. You can
yeah." And he said, "It's not much different." I was there. Oh, right, okay. And then the first week I was there, then the way they have to lay out the tables and all that kind of stuff. And I was a manager, so I was trying to tell these people how to do stuff. And they were there, oh, Colm, you wouldn't mind doing the table there? I had the clue, sure. I didn't even know how to put out the knives and forks. I was there, no, I'm going to sit back and watch you do everything, and I'm going to judge you now for the moment. So if you can do that and that, I bluffed my way through it. Like,
for anybody listening who's wondering why their boss is such a bollock sometimes, just, there you go.
Just don't
the
know what they're
possibility is they
you go do it, because I don't know how.
They have no fucking clue what they're doing. Because that was the thing. I did a gig one time down in Tramore, and like every other Tipperary child from an inland county, I had a gorgeous notion of Tramore in my head.
Yeah.
And I literally had not been there since I was about 10. And I went down to do a gig, and it was like a fucking Friday night. And myself and Paddy Cullivan, he's myself and Paddy. Paddy was bringing his
he's funny.
His political satirical songs.
Yeah.
No, Paddy. These people
not
want
these
people want dick jokes.
Yeah.
And they want them fucking fast. And I swear to God, between the two of us, we'd more teeth than the entire fucking place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh, it's sad.
It was not, and it was.
Was it summer? Was it a summer?
No,
gig?
it wasn't. No, that was the thing. It wasn't even summer.
Oh, so you just had the locals.
This is the locals.
The Tremorans, as I call them.
The Tremorites. Yeah. We went in, and it was too sad.
Yeah.
I went up and I trudged through it, and then but after 5 minutes, I quickly realised, right. So this is corner of a bar stuff too. It wasn't even.
Oh, right.
And so I just started abusing everybody, and then everybody was enjoying that. Yeah. Like I knew the bar was class when you can buy cans of Tennants.
Ah, what bar is that now?
It was cans of Tennants or Tuborg.
Was it O'Shea's?
I couldn't. Honestly, I've tried to wipe this as many times as I can from the hard drive. But Paddy Cullivan, every time I meet him, he's like, we went through that shit together. Because Paddy went up there, and because Paddy wasn't doing stand-up, he didn't have a gear too.
Right.
Paddy had his package, and that was his satirical. Like he had songs about Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
These people.
They didn't give a shit.
Didn't like he may as well speak Bean speaking in German. Like He was just looked at him like...
How long ago was that?
It has to be 5 years ago. 5, 6... No, it's more. Maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Like, it was rough as fuck, like. But we drove around the town, and I remember going, this is my childhood dying right now. Because it was
ruined, like
it was
Disneyland.
It just had that fucking apocalyptic look about it. Like, all the shit was still there.
Yeah.
Do you know, all the old hurdy-gurdies, they were all still there. Yeah. And all the old fucking slot machines. And
it's tidied up a bit, I think.
Has it?
Yeah. Oh no, it's gone. It's upmarket now. So we have we've like a coffee area down at the bottom, and everyone kind of talks with that kind of accent, you know. And they all kind of come down and in their North Face jackets.
Because you're all off on a big adventure.
Yeah, everyone's going on a big adventure down for a coffee, and they're all wearing sports gear. No one's doing sports, but they're all just sitting down there and. Yeah, it's nice. It's changed totally in the last 5 years.
Has it?
It has, yeah.
So it's gentrified no end. Like.
Yeah. Even up the town, down the town, down the end of the prom it's lovely now. You know, where before when I was living there 10 years ago, there's an apartment block there, and the fucking guards were down more than the postman. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So those places. But it's all tidied up now. It's great. Yeah.
So has it gone pure European?
No, it is. Yeah, it's like in the summer's day, it's like fucking Spain or something, you know. And
right.
Yeah. No.
That's fucking good because I got so upset that time because herself had never seen Tremor, and I talked as honestly.
It is a lovely. It was
town. Class, and the next thing was just so sad because
we've got an Aldi now.
Well, now, say no more.
So put that right beside the hurdy-gurdies, which is going to be great fun in the summer when they're all parking. Oh, sure, I'll park in here. Aldi won't mind. I don't know how they're going to police it.
But people were still holidaying even when we were there during the winter. There was Dublin. Dublin family down, and you could tell they were on their holliers.
Yeah.
They were drinking pints in the middle of the day, and it didn't make a difference, even though there was nothing cooking.
A lot of dubs down there. Yeah. We get raided every year down there. Yeah, the dubs just come down, and that's great because they spend loads of money and. You know, you get to listen to the accent, that beautiful accent every day.
That's the water one. It's so lovely. I know, man.
Yeah,
it's something else.
That's that accent.
That's the test, like, for a fucking name, isn't it? Like, you know, if you're going to stick something in it, put that accent on it. Like, there's times too you're going, do you even want a job? Like, do you know, you're going, tone it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's fucking hell. But then I suppose if you don't have to, you don't have to. But there's I got a taxi over there because I dropped the car off, and your man was in the and you're like, dude, it looks like it's difficult to speak with your accent.
yeah.
Like,
but they do like the sound of their own accent.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Well, you see, I suppose there is a confidence in it because you say, "Well, I'm from Dublin." Well,
yeah.
You know,
it's a statement.
We win everything. You know, we've got the best of everything. There is no, you know, you can understand it, but it's
us tip lads are like timid then when they're talking to people.
Yeah, I don't know though. I like again with Leamy last weekend. He meant he had a valid point. He said for years he'd lived in Cork and he'd been around the world playing fucking rugby, but everywhere he went, anybody that knew of Tipperary people, their first opinion was, "You're all fucking tapped."
Tapped, yeah.
Yeah, you're all.
Yeah,
do you get that as well?
All the fucking time.
You're all mad.
All the time.
And I thought
my missus tells me all the time, you're just a different breed up there. Like, you're just wild. And I suppose we were wild. I was wild. Like, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and I was just
hurling. That's all it was. Hurling.
And allowed to run around and drive cars in fields and just mental stuff. Like, my parents were very, very liberal and very easy going, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I come home from school, I'd be home about 3:30, 4, and then, ma'am, the homework's done, and they never do the homework, and then fuck off, and I won't be back till 10:30. You'd be in the middle of the night, we suppose we better ring and see if Colm's around anywhere.
And no question as to where the fuck you are, like, because people think I'm bullshitting. I did a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I'd forgotten about it, and it came up, when did you first learn how to drive?
Yeah.
And it was the girls from Up to 90 podcast, and they were going, being so country, how country were you? And drive. I said, how country was I? I learned to drive when I was 7.
Yeah.
In a Datsun Cherry.
Yeah. I remember crashing a rally car when I was 11. My friend, dad was there. Oh, my son, he's able to drive. And I was showing off in the car, and next thing I crashed the fucking thing. Sure. I was 11. What was I even doing in a rally car?
What the fuck?
You know Rose Green, you know the little
speedway.
So my friends used to be always, racing cars and that, so... Well, my father's friends. I used to kind of hang around with an older crowd, even at 11. But, I was just mad. Rose Green and the Demolition Derby and all that kind of stuff.
Young fellas do grow up fast, though, in the country, I think. Because that, I used to hang around with older lads, too. No, lads my own age, but there was
it seemed to be acceptable to hang out with lads that were 18,
there wasn't
19,
much
smoking
people
fags
there.
and talking. But so you end up learning shit way quicker than a lot of city kids would. Like you're like,
absolutely.
So that's how the reproductive system works. I see.
Yeah.
I'm 7. I didn't need to know that just now. And so then I suppose getting into it, you're in Waterford. What was the point where you're going, I'm going to start? What was the nucleus of the Whispers?
I started. What did I do first? There was it was the last post. Not a post box. It was a phone box in Ferrybank, and this story came on the paper, and it was on the local paper. And I used to always love the local paper style of just reporting ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I loved that. And they reported on this. Oh, the last phone box in Ferrybank is being taken down. So I done an alternative version of this dangerous phone box.
Just acting the crack.
This phone box was threatening people, you know. And I put up this dangerous phone box being taken down, and had this mad fucking bonkers story. I was always one for writing shite, and you know, but I never really kind of put it to use. So this was kind of my first try at it, and I made a little note on my Facebook page, and that was kind of based on the story, and everyone loved it. And they were like, fucking hell, you can write. And I was like, shit, I can. And so I started doing more and more, and then I set up Whispers as an actual page. It was kind of named after Chinese whispers, because you know the way the story gets lost down the line.
So was that the idea that it was kind of nearly heard on a bus kind of style?
There's truth in it.
Yes, there's truth in it.
But by the time you get it, it's that truth's so fucking warped up, you don't know what it is, but it still has the basis of the real story kind of thing, you know. So that's how I said, fuck it, I'll just call it Chinese Whispers, I'll call it Waterford Whispers News. And my friend done the website then, and it just started really taking off. First story then was Michelle Obama came over. The Obamas came over, right?
Oh yeah, to Moneygall.
I done a story of
the Tipperary president. Yeah.
Bono saying, I think the first one was Bono saying, "Only for me, you wouldn't be here, and you're welcome." You know, that kind of thing. And then there was another one. Michelle Obama. She says, "My God, there's so many ugly motherfuckers on this island." And everyone, that went viral. That was my first viral story. I think it was 2011. And that went viral, not only in Ireland, but the States, and all the wrong people in the States, as in all the racists.
Okay.
Because they jumped on that. They loved, and all the comments were really fucking horrible against the Obamas.
Oh, wow.
And, no, it was vicious stuff. And I was quite proud then. You know, I've instigated some kind of mass movement here against the Obamas. And then I was kind of realizing, Jesus, this is awful then, that the comments are terrible. And then maybe I shouldn't do that kind of content. You know, maybe it should be more satirical. I started, you know, learning about the satire, and you know, at the start it was just fun and games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and satire, I probably wouldn't have been able to define it for you if you asked me.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So then I kind of started reading in. You know, I was always a big fan of the Day to Day, Chris Morris and Armando Annunzi and all that kind of stuff. You know, Alan Partridge. So I kind of always had that interest in that side of it. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, so kind of developed from there and took off, you know.
Did it what? Like, I mean, like,
crazy,
you mentioned Waterford Whispers now. It's as synonymous as Coca-Cola these days. There's
people.
I don't think people even think, because for me, I'm like, Waterford.
Yeah.
And Waterford Whispers. Why? You know, that would read. Well, people don't anymore. It's as much as saying any, like, it's a household name now.
It's
to
crazy.
The point.
No, it's
like,
crazy.
Does that? And I often wonder about that when things get so successful for people. Does that blow your mind too?
If I think about it, I just start freaking out. Like I do. I start freaking out, and I just say, "Okay, compartmentalize that until you're 70 or something." You know, when you're receiving an award for whatever you're doing, because I just can't handle it. Because it's just like, you have like da-da-da. Like, for instance, fucking Facebook got onto me. We need help. We're looking for experts, and we're contacting you on satire and
what?
HQ, the Californian policymakers for Facebook, contacted me.
How did they contact you?
She sent me an email.
I just imagine. Do you remember in 300, your man turned up the emissary with three heads of kings, and he's, do you know? And you kick Facebook down a fucking well.
Yeah. No, she sent me an email, and
Jesus
she was there.
Christ!
I was kind of blown away by the email.
It's like the Pope emailing you.
Yeah, it's saying it's like the Pope emailing you saying, "Am I doing a good job?" Because
that's
exactly what she said. So I was there. Right, we need to talk to you, and so I spoke to the head of policy there, and she said, everyone loves Waterford Whispers News. This is in California.
And they no idea where Waterford is?
No, probably don't even know it's Irish. But everyone follows this. Like, we love your... This is in, like, the Facebook HQ, which is great because I always had the fear that Facebook would just kill us one day. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of go, right,
you're done now.
Yeah, bye, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye, goodbye business.
There must have been a point too where they were kind of a few points. They must have kind of gone, will we see how this plays out?
Yeah, no, I think so. They've only reached out to us. That wasn't the first time they reached out. They've assigned us a media manager who's really fucking helpful, man.
Right.
This guy, he works in Dublin. Mushtaba is his name, and he just helps us every week with, like, we're launching fan subscriptions with them and that kind of thing. So it's a $5 a month. It's an extra package and all that kind of stuff. But like, he's so helpful, and even little things you wouldn't know about the algorithm and keywords. Don't put this in there because your reach will get affected. And he just kind of teaches you how it works, and it's so handy to have someone, especially a contact in Facebook, because before, as I said, we had no idea if they liked us or didn't like us. And now it's like, oh, thank God, we've got our verified tick now. So since he came along, I was always looking for this little blue tick, because that means you're valid.
Yeah, you're the real deal. Yeah.
And it was coming on 10 years, so we got that finally after 10 years.
Yeah, because you wonder about people going, oh, what the fuck do you need a blue tick for? But you're actually a business.
We're a business. We're a limited company.
You
so and
need
we've employees, and if that page ever went, we're fucked. We are fucked. We do depend. Yeah. Like we've 205,000 Twitter followers, 60,000 Instagram followers, but still the traffic from them, compared to Facebook, Facebook's king. That's the traffic hub.
Because of course your thing does demand you read it. Like if you were just a visual picture. Mm-hmm. Instagram all the way, you know what I mean. And if you were just pure clickbait, then I suppose Twitter. But
I'd mention clickbait. We, after all my praise in Facebook flagged 2 articles last week for clickbait, and our reach now is for 2 weeks they've cramped our reach. But it's
really?
Yeah. So I was kind of.
What was their basis for calling it clickbait?
It was funny, right? Because it was one story. It was one story. Job losses announced. The boom is back, and Jerry McBride done that story. Your friend actually, and he once that story was done, I got flagged, and I said, "No, this is clickbait. It's not clickbait. It wasn't clickbait." But the funny thing was, the story before that was about Mark Zuckerberg. I was like,
there we go.
So I got onto Facebook.
That was a little slap in the arse for you there.
Yeah. Bold boys. But,
yeah.
We're still going to do it. But I got onto Facebook. But they apologise, and I think it's fixed now today. But a week of, it goes to show how the power they have, as in, for the last week we've had fuck all reach, as in, our traffic was shite.
That's amazing.
And that's because they made a mistake, as in, that's clickbate.
But that translates straight to money.
Yeah, no, it is money.
Know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I was sending emails, and my media guy is very helpful and stuff. So yeah, they're sorting it out, but and they're sorting it in a way that'll never happen again. But it's scary when the power's taken out of your hands like that, and you really kind of realize. I'm dependent, as with a lot of publishers right now.
Of course, yeah.
Look at the Independent, look at the Irish Times. They're dumping their print editions.
The one that's closing out in City West.
They're closing that. They're dumping, the printing of it and probably outsourcing it. I don't know, but it's just it's going down a dangerous route when you're giving all the power to
to just the online.
Yeah. I'd keep printing, even if it's not making money. Keep printing.
It's apocalyptic stuff. Power goes out. There's no more.
Well, that's it. It's what happens if. The sun sends out an
solar flare,
flare, and wipes all the bank servers in the world, and everyone has no money when they wake up tomorrow. What happens then?
Start bartering for cans and stuff, don't you?
Yeah. Everyone's going to be killing each other. Yeah. No, yeah.
But it's gone on to a phenomenal level. I have American cousins in Florida, and when I was talking about that, they were only home recent enough, and I was saying, a friend of mine, as I know. I'm online friends with Colm Williamson, and one of my friends is Jerry McBride. I said, right, fuck off. It was like saying I knew Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
It was just because fame is a big thing in America. Here, because there's only 5 million of us.
We hate it here.
We hate fame.
Yeah.
We hate and don't you dare ever get famous, Colm.
No.
If you get famous, don't get fucking famous. No. Do you know what I mean? Don't.
I see what it does to people. No, even you notice, again, as I said, I used to work in Dublin, but there'd be a lot of famous people around, and they'd come into the pub, and I'd always notice, say if Pat Kenny was in, or Bono was in, or someone's in the pub, people would purposely ignore them, even the staff.
Yeah.
Just because Irish, it's embedded in us that we just, for some reason, hate who people are famous.
Well, I think there's two sides to it. I think because especially when Damon Ivor was going, we'd captured the nation because we weren't competing with anything because it was 2013.
Yeah,
was that 2013, then 2014. I'm not joking with you. Could not go out. Anywhere. Bang, people were on you. But it took. There was two. It only drugs were a big factor in people approaching you.
Yeah.
So from that essence, then I wondered about it. Is it people just what is it? And really, I think what it is yes, there's begrudgery and fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But then in another way, fuck Bono and fuck Pat Kenny. But when it's somebody in a comedy that you like, a lot of the time it's shyness, and they go, "What would I be like?" Irish people tend to they do think a bit more than your average. I know we slag ourselves off, but when you go live in another country, you realise dum-dums are on the surface everywhere. Here we do tend to think about a bit more to go, what would I like? And in that, I don't want a fucking dose of people coming up to me like, not that I give a bollocks, you know what I mean? It's like, grand, whatever. Like, but I think they're, no, don't get me wrong.
It's a bit of cop and a bit of shyness.
Yeah. There's fuck that fucker, you know. Too big for himself now, you know. But it's, like, it's, to the point that it's there's people actually fully believing your articles. Like, I remember McBride telling me about the was it the Aldi one or
Little? Yeah. So 12 injured as second till 12 injured in Stampede as second till opens in Lidl, and what happened then was that story got picked up by one of the biggest magazines or papers in Germany, thinking it was real.
Das Magazine.
What was it called? The Bild or something like that. And
then, Das Bild. Yeah.
So then a few months later, I seen an article, and it was on the Irish Times, and it was the head of Lidl coming over to Ireland, and the first thing he put up on the screen behind him to all the area managers in Ireland was our article, and read out the article and goes, "See this? This is satire, right? This is satire." And
wow!
And he just read it out, and he goes, "Now, what does satire do?" And you got to read it. It explains fully what he said, and he just basically said, "Well, we don't want to happen this again. This want to happen again." And then within a few weeks after that, I noticed that they started putting earpieces in the little guys, right? So what that means is why the tills will before when you go up to the little. You're always waiting for the second till, and they've been no one at it. And no one knows where the guy is because he's at the end of the store doing a million other jobs. So now they have an earpiece to go, Charik, can you take till two? So that's Jerry. So you can thank Jerry McBride for your second till.
So Jerry McBride and Waterford Whispers are
changing the world.
So whoever got the contract for all those headsets, they owe
Denis O'Brien probably.
The irony of it, the fucking irony. I think there's a picture of him on the wall somewhere in here. Actually, no, there's not. There wouldn't be not in this place. It is funny, like, because I was getting around to him, all right. Because is he your number one solicitor letter man?
Yeah, well, that was when he sent that. That was great for us, obviously, because it got such attention, So I got the letter. So we'd done the story.
Which was the first one? Because
the first story was Denis O'Brien arrested. And
that's just
sentenced for 2 years in parallel universe, and it was just basically anything that was in the article was just the findings from the Moriarty tribunal, and there was all facts in it, but there was a hint of he's a criminal.
Yeah,
and I suppose the fact that I photoshopped his head on John Gilligan being led out of a court didn't help. And I think maybe the imagery hit him more.
Famous drug dealer.
The picture's great.
John Gilligan.
It looked so well, it looked quite real. And then the solicitor came. I had people getting on to me at the time. Michael was one guy who got on to me, McDermott, and he's there like, Colm, I think you might be a bit liable there. I was there, that'd be grand. Next day, if fucking letter comes. Oh, yeah, shit. You better take that down by 6 o'clock. I said, okay, no problem, thanks. And I made sure that every fucker had that article, screen grab.
Of course.
Sent it to Broadsheet put it up. And then I posted the letter, the actual letter, the solicitor's letter, and that blew up. And really pissed off a lot of people, obviously, because, he's a big man tacking a little satire site. Like, at that stage, it was 2015, the company was going a year. Like, I was broke, this big billionaire is fucking trying to sue us, So we took it down anyway, and we done up an apology the next day to John Gilligan for photoshopping Dennis's head on him. You know, you got to apologise. And so
that's glorious.
So we constantly poke the bear. But I think like we could actually see him pinging in Malta. So we have Google Analytics and it lets you see who's where and what they're using. It's quite scary. But we could see a couple of pings in Malta, which we'd never get, you know. That is Dennis. So anytime we do a Dennis story, we'd always be looking at the analytics and it'll tell you if he's looking.
You wonder, like, is the likes of him that sensitive? Or is he, do you reckon? Or egotistical?
No.
Do you think it's his team or jobs are on the line here?
A retainer of lawyers who will just go looking, searching, we'll attack that. They're just working for him. I mean, I don't think he personally kind of goes, engage number one, you know.
How good would that be if that was the case? I imagine him having a trap door that he could pull a big lever like
Michael
just
Lowry's Henson on the front, you know.
Because they do... It does seem, because the likes, I said Paul Howard a couple of weeks ago, and Paul Howard, as he said himself, he goes, I've always lived by the trait, ask for forgiveness rather than permission. But on the other side, then he doesn't cut the legs clean off people. No, he just invents whole stories, and the whole thing doesn't even pose as reality. Now, Denis O'Brien was in a few of his books as well, like, you know,
right,
where the father was believing he was Denis O'Brien.
Paul was telling me about the time he. They were doing the musical. Was it Anglo, the musical?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Jesus, the
hardship. They had to pull a bunch of stuff that morning, apparently.
Apparently, yeah, and he had to turn it around and write. Jeez, it just sounded like a nightmare to me. You know, wow. Yeah, so having to change a whole show or part of a show just to...
Was there a Korean... Was there one about North Korea as well?
Yeah, so I did a story. This is the time when all the fucking bullshit stories about North Korea. You remember they were saying, all the males have to wear his haircut.
Yeah.
You know all this bullshit.
Yeah,
it's just all media fucking spin. And I said, right, okay, North Korea lands the first ever man on the sun. And so in the story, then he goes at night because, you know, obviously he doesn't want to get burnt. So that took off. And that took off in Poland, weirdly enough. And then that went viral in Singapore, and then we got attacked. And like there was literally, I was looking at the servers started crashing then because there was like at any one time 30,000 people or something on the site.
What?
And then we got attacked then, a DDNS attack from North Korea itself.
Stop.
Yeah,
that's how you know you're doing well.
Yeah, obviously he read it, which. That makes my day when I know someone like that reads a story I wrote.
Imagine Kim reading it.
Yeah. You know, maybe shot someone over it. I hope so. No, it's just bonkers. And then we're down for a week. We had no website for a week, but it was great because the publicity was like, oh my God, everyone fell for it. CNN, fucking all the big news agencies fell for it, and that was just the cream of the crop. Yeah, that was the big one that kind of set us off. 2014 January, so that was the big one.
That was the big one.
Yeah, we're still getting hits. If I look at my phone there's probably 10 people reading that story now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how, you know, it's 5-6 years later.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then the book. Mm-hmm. Then
we released the book. Yeah, so we're on book 6 now.
You're on book 6.
Book 6.
That's amazing.
Fuck yeah. So that came out. When did that come out? Friday. So we have book 6 out now at the moment. So it's getting better and better every year. We have a really nice layout, and there's loads of new material in it, you know.
Yeah.
So we do kind of half and half the best stuff for the year, and then
create new stuff
for it, you know.
Right,
so
yeah.
I have Bill's diaries in this one. So
Bad Buddy.
Bill Bad Buddy. He was running for the European elections, so his diary on the whole elections is in that. So that's quite funny, actually.
Because that's tasty. Because a lot of people just when they have an end of year annual.
Yeah,
that's all it fucking is.
And that's
it's gleaning from the year gone by.
Like, yeah. So get that on the website.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's there forever. Yeah. So that is cool, though. That is, you do have the other. And then, if you hadn't enough, and we would just be, while we were getting our coffees, you were going, I'd love to write a musical, Tom. It's like, you cheeky bastard. Yeah. Fair play to you. You're dead right. Yeah. And because you have a stage play.
Yeah, well, we have the live show. So the live show, we test ran last year.
I think I auditioned for that. I did a video audition. I remember an agent got on to me.
Was it a video audition?
They asked just for a video audition.
Right. Okay. Cool. Must look up that. Well, you didn't get the gig,
No, I
Sonny.
didn't get the gig.
We auditioned. We done a proper process. Got really good actors, and we done a really good show. We got Barry Murphy. Yeah, really good actors. We got Barry Murphy directing. Barry's brilliant.
You can't go wrong with him. He is one. Whenever anybody asks me and who would be, because there aren't many people that will actually give you any good advice, especially in stand-up comedy. Everybody says it.
Yeah.
I think it's not just everybody's nasty or whatever. I think people are just fearing who's beside him and who's going to overtake him. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it was probably an indictment at the sign of the times that he was in no way threatened by me whatsoever. But he didn't have to be as nice as he was.
Yeah.
Really early. I was only maybe doing comedy maybe 6 months or a year. And any time I ever ran into him, unbelievably sharp advice.
Brilliant.
Like, just a hell of a nice bloke. Like.
Yeah.
And just
down to earth.
confident, straight talking man. Like, you know,
No
something
shit.
I assumed all blokes were supposed to grow up to be like. You know, instead of the bumbling messes. So
He's
many.
brilliant. And it's just very clever and just kind of bringing out stuff out of your creative process that you wouldn't have had if he wasn't in the room. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why don't you, could we put a bit of music in that, or just bringing out stuff I wouldn't think of? Do you know what I mean? I suppose that's his job as a director.
He's
brilliant at it.
That's the class thing about it. Just like that play I was telling you about. Yeah. For me, it's flat on I'm doing it on the stage and all the rest, and the stagecraft. Mm-hmm. Find that was taught really by the director, but when I see then the little touches, the lighting, the undertones, the sound effect in here and there, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
And I remember we did one venue up the north, and the problem was the bars that would hold the lights had just been condemned by that week. The safety officer came in and said they're too old. So none of the lighting we had could go up on it. So we just lights up, lights down. That was it.
Oh my God! Right.
But the play was the play.
Yeah.
We were able to get in the sound effects and the underscore and the music and stuff like that. But you could see it.
You're just doing this all on your own.
All on my own. Yeah.
There's a running time of 90 minutes.
There's a what is it? 50? Yeah, it's just over 90 minutes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. How long were you rehearsing that for?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. When I got it, they allowed me to, because it's in 40 odd countries.
Yeah.
You can't use the same one for every country. It just won't work humor wise.
So it's kind of tailored to
the Irish market. So they gave it to me maybe 2 months previous, and they went. So they went, Tom, can you work on this?
Adapted it for,
because when I got it first, I went, I'm not. The jokes are way too chubby on this.
Yeah.
There's way too much fucking blubber in the way.
A lot of fat there. Yeah.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. And plus I said, that one's not fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's not fucking funny. Can I put in an alternative? And they were like...
And you were allowed to put in your own...
They went, work away.
Oh, wow.
So in that sense, it does... You can... Like a mate of mine came the other night, Gordon Rochford, he owns those Conspiracy Guys podcast.
Oh, yes.
He went over to Galway with me.
Yeah.
And Gordon was an amazing stand-up as well in his day.
Right.
Unbelievable, incredible. He just couldn't deal with the business. It was because it is...
Cutthroat.
It's just,
I couldn't do. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's ferocious, but it makes you appreciate all the nice things. It's like being to Nan, you know what I mean? But he could see my DNA all over. He was like, But he says, but at the same time, you could see it is a proper play, But
you throwing in the old fucking and swear.
Oh no, they allowed me to stick in swear words. There was one or two anyway, but I said there's got to be a couple more.
Yeah,
because
this is Ireland.
We won't pepper the fucking thing, but at the same time, there's got to be a few. There's a few juicy ones there ready for it. And even old ones don't mind it. Like, yeah, fuck was needed there, all right. You know what I mean? But it's like you say, watching a genius at work, you're like, I wouldn't have known any of this shit. On opening night, it was in Bray.
Yeah.
Or the Tech, the day before in Bray. And we're there, and I'd been used to Tech because I do the panto down in Limerick.
Yeah.
But it quite literally, because I don't do any singing and dancing, I just walk on and do funny shit and walk back off again. Quite literally, that's my gig.
Well, you don't sing, no?
I don't sing, I don't dance, I do nothing. I just walk on and I'm me, essentially.
There's that guy every year.
Yeah, pretty much.
He
but because I'm in UCH so much with stand-up and everything else, most of the audience know me, so they're like, there's Tom, this'll be good. Right. There'll be no singing. Or, there's Tom, you can tip off to the Jacks, one or the other. There'll be this, nothing. But watching, Jesus, it was like, that bit there, right there, that's going to need that. And just his terminologies and stuff with the different lightings. You're like, oh my Jesus Christ, this is your bread and butter.
Yeah.
But it was, but it was really, I was just so impressive to see people being able to pick all these things out of a hat.
Yeah.
No, what's needed there is an indigo fucking fade, or these words, and I'm going, I don't know. I'm just standing here. I still don't fully know what they're saying when I'm on stage, nor do I care.
And are you doing the musical down in Limerick as well this year? Then?
The Panto, yeah. So we go down for the launch tomorrow.
Oh,
tomorrow with the launch. So they don't really even need a launch anymore. I guarantee it's 4/5 sold out already.
And how many nights would that run for?
It's 13 nights, 2 shows a day.
Jesus.
And it'll be sold out. That's 26,000 tickets.
Full hog. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Cha-ching.
Even the boss man was standing beside me last year. He goes, he's from Scotland, and he goes, I don't even fucking know what I'm doing here. The Lord Mayor and everything comes out to the launch, the whole lot. He goes, what the fuck am I doing here? He says,
excellent.
I have 22,000 tickets fucking sold.
Wow.
And we're 5th of November.
Wow.
So we're, But now, in fairness, this guy has foresight. Again, from the theatre side world. You or I would have given up.
Yeah.
He had to fucking drill a panto into these people.
He must have been at it years.
It took him probably 6 years to really get her off the ground, and that's a lot of moolah.
But it's really off the ground.
That's a lot of moolah. Yeah, but she's off to the races now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. Just to watch fucking really.
I just know from trying to sell, getting a taste of the live show and trying to sell tickets, it's fucking hard work.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Because you're watching ticket numbers and all the rest of it, especially when you're directly involved with it. Thankfully, with this particular play, I don't have to fucking worry. No, I have been pushing it because we're probably going to go into partnership because it's a long-running play. It never goes away.
Yeah.
But right now,
with our one, we had we were planning on doing it this year, and I just pulled it because the ticket numbers weren't getting.
No, you're right. You're right because it looked bad in the end.
I was just kind of getting. There was a risk of maybe not making as much money as we thought, and the amount of effort would have to, because I was planning on Bill being in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it would take me out of the site and me out of the business for weeks, and it just wasn't. So we're gonna build the characters a bit more as well. We probably put the cart before the horse, where we didn't build the character. Like if you look at any live show now, if you look at anyone who's doing live show, especially in comedy, say Farmer Michael and the lads and all that kind of stuff. Like it's all character-based stuff, and we didn't do that yet. So we were trying to sell the headlines before the character.
Yes,
So now, I suppose for the next year, I'm going to start building the characers for.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, all right, with Bill, he's thereabouts, but I'd be somebody that would watch that.
No, he's another year.
Yeah, a bit more development in him. Yeah,
a lot more, I think.
And when did that notion come to you? Because obviously, I know you ripped the piss out of a ton of politics. Like,
I always kind of messed around with the video stuff on the site, and I suppose my real passion is the video content. So that's how we brought the show along, and there's a lot of video content in the show. It's half video, half stage work. But Bill kind of came along. I used to copy all the newsreaders. So Brian O'Donovan, he talks this very kind of over here, and I kept kind of copying him and other kind of reporters. And then eventually I just got Bill, and Bill just came out one day, and Bill stuck, and and the voice then kind of hinted that he's a dick. He sounds like a right wanker. And I said, right, how could we make him more of a wanker?
I couldn't last 30 seconds with Bill.
No, he's an awful human being. And so I said, right, he sounds right-wing. So this year for the European elections, I said, fuck it, I'll run this character. And I said, Bill's after leaving, taking a leave of absence from WWN, and he's running for the European. And shit, man. The first thing one of Bill's first policies was to ban all farm machinery from Ireland, right? Because Bill's car got dirty one day, and he's driving a Porsche, right? His car got dirty, and he's just, fuck this, my car. He started doing videos, but what I did was I done up a post saying, let's ban all farm machinery, and I done a page, like a proper politician's page, and it looked the part, posted on Whispers. And the next thing, all the farmers. Oh man, 500,000. The reach is 600,000 reach on this. There's 7,000 comments, and they're all farmers threatening to kill Bill. This is the most hilarious. I've read a lot of funny things, but these comments.
To a lot of them.
Me too. I actually know some of these people. I got 11 death threats in a weekend from separate individuals, all farmers, all with tractors in their profile pictures.
Oh my God!
I kept winding them up. No, I wound them up. I kept going for weeks and weeks, and then I eventually, because of the death, they were really getting very vicious. They were threatening to call out to my house and spray me in slurry and all this kind of stuff. So that was the start of Bill's campaign. I said, fuck, I'm onto something here, because he's so good at winding people up. It's me, you know, but I'm naturally good at winding people up anyway. But I just said, fuck this, I'm going to go full head for this. And yeah, so Bill is going to be we're launching the fan subscriptions next Monday. And basically what it is, it's video content. There's a lot of other content on it too, but it's behind the scenes of WWN.
Brilliant.
So Bill is kind of the head of that, but there's also we have the actors as well doing the proper news reads, so proper news reports, investigations, loads of content, loads of video content. So for a fiver every month, the readers can, you know, subscribe, support us, because it is hard. It's hard to fucking monetize this shit, because brands just shit themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, we want cheeky, and then here's cheeky. Oh, we don't want cheeky.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to make
like
money. So that's what we said. Fuck it. We have all this beautiful video content. Why not just set it up as a subscription and bait away at it, you know?
And I wouldn't forgive myself. I sound like such a radio cunt saying something like that. But my favourite thing that I just lap up is session heads.
Oh,
I fucking lap. I just.
I saw him back up that you. Now we are talking.
Yes, fucking yes.
He's onto us now. He's fucking. He's onto us now, guys. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I have Eugene there as well, kid.
I fucking love Eugene.
Eugene, he's from Ula. He's fucking from Ula.
Is he from Ula?
Ula.
Fucking hate Ula.
I know.
Fucking kid.
I hate the
I
place.
used to be fighting fuckers the whole time from Ula. But because the second I showed that to Samantha Mumba.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. And I remember we were sitting down. The two of us were hunched over in her dressing room watching. She goes, I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I fucking love this shit. She goes, what's he even saying? That's the Waterford accent. She goes, oh Jesus, that is a horrendous accent.
It is. Yeah,
I goes, when it's that thick. And
that is some bang out that.
They only kind of have land words, like, because they just roll off. They don't believe in consonants at all. Like, they just go straight. Nah, but it's just
really into it, boy. And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God! Viciously, there is. You could be the most attractive woman in the world, but if you had that accent,
oh no, yeah.
Oh, forget about
the
it.
accent. Yeah. The female version of that accent is hilarious.
And I saw it. I did the beautiful theatre that is the Theatre Royal a couple of weeks ago, and it was one of the best shows we did.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Like, they were really into it. Like, but there was a gang of ones there. They were laughing at all the wrong spots as well.
Yeah,
they were just fucking laughing the whole way through. Because it's a play and it's not stand up and I can't kind of address it. You got to plow on, so you're going, is my cock hanging out or something? What's going on? Like? And so they're kind of nearly putting you off. But they were just enjoying the previous jokes too.
They're just getting the jokes.
Yeah, but I came out because my parents were out in the foyer. Like, it wasn't the fastest. And I have put a fair pace on it. Like, you could drag this into 2 hours if you wanted. Like, okay. But I put a pace of a stand-up set in it because I couldn't. I would lose the will to live.
Yeah.
If I was.
It's a long time to be on stage.
If I was just it goes fast because you're in the zone. Like, But if I was milking jokes, like I've seen some of the foreign versions of this, like they milk the fuck out of a joke. Just stand there going, am I right, kind of guy? You know and that look?
Like the after each
and I
joke,
just fucking plow on.
The pause.
Catch up.
Applause.
Just catch on. If you miss that one, there's another one coming in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I can't live with myself if it was that, but I went out into the foyer because my folks had come to this show, like, and just to see what they thought, you know, they were delighted, whatever. But this one comes out, come here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Me. I have to bring in the fare, and it was like, oh my lord!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, and the
cousins come in.
Oh, it was just, I have to bring in the fare, and this is birthday, and it was just this. It was this amalgamation. I don't know where she was from. She wasn't from Pure City, but it was this accent that sounded like you're going, oh,
Portlaw, probably.
Yeah. It was fucking. Oh.
Yeah, they got the bus in, you know.
Oh, something else. And she was there, and she would not let go of me, right? And I was like, and all the sisters were there, and they were the ones that were laughing uncontrollably. You're like, oh my lord.
They're great people. No, it's just the Waterford people are just so fucking funny and straight up. Like, I mean, there's no filter.
But there's very little air, because I lived there for 6 months. I lived in a hotel. I was working as an insurance loss adjuster, and they had me down there, and it was supposed to get me accommodation, and then they had me staying in the Viking Hotel.
Oh yeah,
and I was basically like the major in fucking in Fawlty Towers. They knew me by name, and I'd come down in the morning, be like, "Good morning, Tom," and no, sorry, that's wrong. I was like, "Morning, Tom. Well, bye.
Well, bye. You all right?
What
blah with that, yeah. Blah. Mop that up with the blah. Everything's the blah's used for everything.
It's everything.
Clean the plates.
But session heads then, where did that, like...
Oh, that's
I think we all know those knackers. Like, we went, and I mean that by not the traveller sort, I mean the actual fucking scummy bastards.
I'll say this vaguely, I did a lot of research when I was younger.
A lot of Mitsubishi Galants, was there?
Oh shit, I did a lot of research. So I would have known, when I was younger, I used to hang around with very questionable people. But good fun, you know, and it was a bit belled, and I suppose all the characters they're based on lots of different people.
Yeah.
But how it started was that app, Face Swap Live. I picked it up one day, and there was two different kind of filters on it that warped your face, and the first one was Clinkers, and the second one was J.O. And it's just when you look at yourself, the voice just kind of came out, you know.
Right,
it just kind of channels when you're looking at it. I didn't even know I could do the Waterford accent so well.
Oh, it's gross. It's so good.
Filthy.
It's gross.
Even Waterford people going, "Are you from Tip? Are you from Tip?" I said, "Yeah." How the fuck?
Oh,
they're all different.
Like
Waterford
I showed it to Richie Hayes the same day. Like,
Richie.
He goes, "That's not how he sounds." He goes, "No, well, you don't because you live in Florida now." Like, but when your brother sounds like that.
Yeah.
But because his brother is John who did that Viking thing,
and
I swear to God, not 20 minutes later, he goes, "I've John on FaceTime." He goes, "Where the hell?" I was like, "Oh," he goes, "The brother don't sound that bad, does he?" I says, "Even still, you're in Florida," but he'll go like Richie says things like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And you say, "What's wrong with you?" Where's the M in the middle of that? How did you make that? What's wrong with you?
After going into town. So it's M-A-F-T-E-R.
It's like this weird fucking Turkish, Kurdish fucking...
After knocking another fella out the road there. No, but a session has took off, and I posted that video to my personal page, and within a day it got 10,000 views.
Oh, it was amazing.
And to me, you know, I had 400 friends, and for that to get 10,000 views in a day, you go from working with websites and Facebook, I kind of knew that, Jesus, this is something in this.
Yeah.
And when I set up the Session Heads Facebook page, the thing, they love it so much. Like, I done a podcast with Blind Boy a couple of weeks ago with Jerry, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And all they wanted to hear about was fucking Session Heads. They didn't give a shit about
You
Whispers.
could see the amalgamation there now. You could see the correlation between him and...
Yeah. They were just like, any questions for Colm? Dave was like, any questions for Colm? Session Heads. They just, it's a phenomenon down there. They just love it.
But even little things like you'd Clinkers on and the young fella answered the phone. And it was clearly Jay was head. He goes, "Jay's not denying him back." And you're going, "I know, it's the whole thing. They all saying he's spitting me."
It was saying he's spitting me. And the filters, Jay's.
Clearly fucking Jay with the young fella there. It's brilliant.
I know, it's good. I'm going to do another episode this month. It's hard to do because the business is fucking in the way, you know, but I just love it. I love it. And I'm doing another episode. I plan on doing a feature-length film next year. I'm going to raise hopefully 20 grand to do an hour and do a Q&A after kind of thing. You know, we'll release, do the film, tour it around the southeast and stuff. And,
brilliant.
I do a Q&A after, and I can do a live Q&A as well with the characters I've figured out. And I'm also doing... we're doing a 10-year bash. Actually, you should come down to that. 10-year bash in the Ritz in Tremor, and I have the Blizzards.
Stop.
I swear to fuck. I have TPM.
Really?
The lads, they're playing in Vicar Street tonight. Yeah. I have Kevin McGarn. I have Tony Cantwell. I have Hugh Cooney. I have Session Heads, and Bill will be there as well. So it's for in aid of Pieta House.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah.
I'll jump on.
Do come down for a night out.
Yeah.
Whatever. Jerry, I was trying to get Jerry down, but I think Jerry's busy or something. Yeah. He's washing his hair.
So. It sounds like a moment. Yeah. So before we wrap up, because the subscription service.
Subscription.
Tell people, I'll put the links and all in the show notes.
Cool.
Too.
We're launching it on Monday. This day, we're the 4th today, so it was meant to be today. Only for the Facebook thing happened to have to push it back. So it's next week. So it's the 11th. We're launching it on the 11th. It's a $5 a month. You can either sign up on Facebook fan subscriptions or Patreon, and it's going to be a constant feed of new content, video content. And help us out because it is hard to monetize this shit. Like it's probably our last chance. No, it's not that bad, but it'd be very helpful if people subscribe to us because it's great content. Like the video stuff it's really good. If you like satire news and that kind of thing, this is where to go. And
that's it. Like it'll probably be a 30-second click through PayPal kind of a jobby. Like,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. I think people aren't begrudging the money. I think just people kind of, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because I see with Patreon, even with mine, when people kind of, when you spell it out, go, you'll be in and out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Throw a couple of quid at it.
Yeah.
It helps this shit go along, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's hard to kind of get that across because we're going so long as well. We're there 10 years.
They're assuming you're just massive and you don't need
Well, they
it,
think we're massive, and I suppose we kind of pretend that we're bigger than we are when literally it is just me, Jerry McBride and Carl Moylan, all in different locations across the country, sitting at a desk, writing stories. We've no office.
You gotta
We've no office. We've no, like, this isn't like what we in the subscriptions. We'll pretend to have this big, massive office building.
Yeah, of course,
and elaborate. It'll be great fun. We have a lot of great stuff lined up for it, but just if you can support us, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Colm, we're in a fucking pub.
Whoop.
Doing my podcast, so you know what I mean. Like, I totally understand what you're talking about. Like I said, I'll be putting all the show notes in, or the links to this in the show notes, so that people
brilliant.
just click through. So,
and the book as well. Our book is out, so if you can buy the book as well, just give us loads of money, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If you like Waterford Whispers, don't be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, don't be mangy.
And one more time, can we get a sign off from Gio?
You can, yeah. Don't bang off that boy. Don't bang off you.
So, Colm.
Whoop, whoop.
And my thanks again to Colm. There you go. The subscription service. I will put the link in the show notes of this. But easily just go to Waterford Whispers and you'll find it. No problem. You know you're going to get some good stuff. You know you're going to get some extra good stuff. And it's well worth fucking paying that and paying some other bullshit. Because there's actually high quality effort that's gone into it. There you have it. Don't forget to rate and review this on a guest on the old Apple fucking podcast. You know yourself. Give it 5 stars. Anything else? Hang on to them. I see a few people have been banging those stars out for me. Good on you, lads. It means more people can find it. Also, if you want to write a little review, class. Failing that, just give me a screen grab of you listening to this. Send it over to send it over through the internet, lads. Through the internet, send it to Tom. Most likely, probably best on the old Instagram, which is Tom O'Mahony Comedy. That's where most of my shit goes down on. But Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find me anywhere, really. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If Chatty Snaps your thing, Tom Bear O'Mahony. But you know what? I don't really mind. You can send me over a pigeon for all I care. I'll eat the fucker. Now, go on away. Thanks for listening, and have a lovely weekend.